Our mission is to personally connect with our guests and make a positive impact on the world, so that every mile of the river cruise experience becomes one of their most cherished memories.
Let there be light, let it shine, love anchors on. All for one, one for all. There's no better word. 'Cause we are stronger than that one. Yes, we conquer every storm. We are more people than don't know, like the river, every soul. Family.
Yeah. Ama means love, and we are family.
We can sail away to the brighter day. Destination love, joy all aboard. Every land and every nation, every bank and location. My people, we get it. No more. We are stronger than one. Yes, we conquer every storm. We are more people than don't know, like the river, every soul. Yes, we are stronger together. We conquer every storm. Every storm. And the rest won't. People that know, like the river, every soul. We family.
Greetings and welcome everyone to our virtual Sip and Sail Cocktail Hour. Exciting 2021 Voyages to Reunite with friends and family. This is a live and interactive event and we would love your participation. Our team of friendly and multilingual moderators are ready to respond to you in real time. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you our hosts for today. Co-founder and Executive Vice President of AmaWaterways, Kristin Karst, and co-owner and Senior Vice President of Sales, Gary Murphy.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to all of you here in the US, in Canada, in Europe, Latin America, Asia. Wherever you come from, we are so happy that you are able to joining us today.
Hello, everyone. I'm looking forward to our this Sip and Sail. Is this our first Sip and Sail of the new year? So it's Happy New Year also, right, Kristin?
It definitely is.
Yeah.
It is our very, very first one. Yes. So let's get started here. And a warm, warm welcome to our past and future guests, as well as our dedicated travel advisors. We are so glad you could join us today for our first virtual Sip and Sail Cocktail Hour of the year. And since this is our first event for you in 2021, we have decided to start the year with a brand new interactive element. We will be giving you, our future guests, the opportunity to choose your own virtual experience by participating in polls on Facebook, that direct some of the topics we will share with you today. You do not need to have a Facebook account to participate in these polls, and we are excited to see what you would like to learn the most about. So some of the most common resolutions people make in the new year are focused on health and wellness. And this is probably also one part of our river cruise experience, which I'm very, very passionate about. Our wellness program includes 7 dimensions of wellness that encompass the entire journey. And we look forward to talking with you about that a bit later today. When we hosted our holiday sip and sail in December and asked you to submit your New Year's resolutions, the overwhelming number of answers pointed to a trend, and this is to spend more quality and in-person time with family, friends, and loved ones that you were not able to see during the past few months, and to travel the world together, visiting less explored destinations that are off the beaten path. So today we will take you through some of our very unique European itineraries that provide you with the opportunity to see some unforgettable hidden gems and treasures. But best of all, you can experience your journey with one of our most popular land packages, which we are offering to you on a complimentary basis for a limited time, which is currently until January 31 this year. So, and now I would like to introduce to you one of our most wonderful long-term cruise managers, our Maddie Calderus. So welcome, Maddie. Maddie, you were born and grew up on the banks of the lower Danube in the little town of, wow, it is actually hard for me to pronounce, but let's try it, Corabia, meaning a sailing ship. While spending time and swimming with friends in the Danube every summer, you watched the ships going up and down the Danube and you dreamed of being on board. But life took you for a short while first to Bucharest, where you worked as a marketing specialist for Elle magazine. What a dream job for so many. But then something happened and you started to work in the river cruise industry, and you are now in this industry, which is, I think, life for always for 20 years now, and I believe for good. So since 2007, we are happy and proud to have you as part of our AmaWaterways family, and I know you are here to stay. So thank you, Maddie, again for joining us and talking a little bit about your home country as part of our Gems of Southeast Europe itinerary.
Thank you very much, Kristin, for your introduction, and good afternoon, everyone.
Uwe, are you there? Maddie, where are you right now?
I'm back home in Romania.
In Romania. And Uwe, where are you? Oh, you're muted.
I'm in Linz in Austria. Good to see you all. We just got inches of fresh snow.
I can't wait to see you in person. Uwe, we're very proud to have you as one of our cruise directors. But Uwe, coincidentally, you were born outside of Dresden in Perna, the same place that Kristin was born. Is that correct?
That is 100% correct, but we didn't know each other before AmaWaterways.
We might have gone to the same school, but he's my younger brother, Gary.
Your younger brother.
You're my older one.
And then Uwe, you studied engineering, civil engineering, and then you decided to take a break and you went, I guess, to a touring around the globe, and ended up being a tour guide in South Africa first?
I started as a tour guide in Cape Town, South Africa. Yeah, doing day tours and bringing people to the Cape of Good Hope and showing them the penguins on the way and back to Cape Town. And I thought, This is a lot more exciting than calculating statics and numbers. So and this is where I am, so the tourism business.
Well, I'm glad you caught that bug, because then you joined AMA. You're always one of our highest ranked cruise directors, and it's great to have you with us today. And I know it's late there, so Maddie and you, thank you for staying up. Uwe, I don't mind if you mind this, but if any of you are really tall and you're concerned about how you navigate on ships or river ships, Uwe, you never have a challenge, do you?
Well, it's being tall is a challenge in life generally, but there's pros and cons, and I see the positive side. So it's you know, I bang my head at every door frame if I don't watch it, but I always have an overview. So it's I don't mind being tall.
But our beds are long enough for you, right? And our shower is the space is good for you.
The bed is long enough, and I fit under the shower. I might have to crouch a little bit, but I do fit, yes.
Okay, so feet, Uwe, how tall would you be? Do you know? And it's not in meters. I know you're over a couple of meters tall, but how many would you be? What, 6'6", 6'7"?
6'7", yeah, that's right.
6'7", okay. So if any of you are really tall and you have questions on how it is navigating around a ship or a river ship, Uwe is a perfect guy to talk to.
Well, and
Thank you,
at this time, we would like you all to raise your glass and join us in a toast, as we always do during our sip and sail cocktail hours. So, I think most of us have decided for the red today. In fact, actually, I decided to open a bottle of Romanian red wine today, which, you know, I grew up. Dresden was the former Eastern German part, and that was the wine we were always able to drink, right? And now I drink it with a very, very different appreciation for the countries we are cruising through. So maybe all soak in the happiness that planning a future vacation brings, and let that anticipation carry us through until we are together on the rivers again. Prost, zum Wohl, santé.
Santé, cheers.
Well, this is a very appropriate time for me to talk about our sip and sail hour. So what we like to do is invite our guests an hour before dinner to meet in the lounge, and we have complimentary cocktails. And it always creates a great a buzz, a social networking, an opportunity for people to meet each other on the cruise. And it's interesting that quite often you'll find that people start talking to each other at the sip and sail cocktail hour. It's fully included, complimentary cocktails, and then they'll continue on to a dining room table together. So it's a nice added benefit to AMA. Of course, we include beautiful sparkling wines at breakfast, your beer and wines during dinner. You have the complimentary cocktail hour, beautiful gourmet coffees throughout the day. So you will never be thirsty on an AmaWaterways cruise. Is that correct, Uwe?
Absolutely, yeah. Nobody goes thirsty or hungry.
Well, you know, Madi, you want to welcome us now on board, right? And guide us through the first journey. And we are looking forward to this.
Thank you very much, Kristin. I'm so excited to welcome you all on board of one of our ships and to take you along the cruise, which is very close to my heart. As Kristin mentioned, I grew up along the so-called Lower Danube, which is part of our Gems of Southeast Europe cruise. This cruise is a very special one, quite unique for a few reasons. For example, for the number of countries that we visit. If you book this cruise, please take a few days before the cruise, either in Vienna, Austria, or in Budapest. And also at the end of the cruise, please book the post-extension, Transylvania, Bucharest, or Turkey in Istanbul. So if you go from Vienna to Istanbul, you are going to discover 7 countries in 2 weeks. Or if you take the Grand Danube, that AmaMagna is going to do it. Am I correct, Kristin? AmaMagna is doing the Grand Danube. 2 weeks on the Danube. You can start in Czech Republic, in Prague. You see Germany and all the countries you see here on the map, all the way to Romania or to Turkey. So 3 weeks tour, you see 10 European countries, 10 European countries. So that makes this cruise really unique. Another unique feature of this cruise is the length of the river that we cover in 1 week. And that is 800 miles or 1,200 kilometers. Is the only cruise that we have in 1 week that covers such a long distance. And because we see so many countries and we go through so many former empires, Austro-Hungarian Empire, former Ottoman Empire, through the Balkans, or Slavic countries, and so on, we have a rich variety of cultures here. And as this next slide shows you, we have, and we are very proud of our national outfit, as you see here, with lots of Slavic influence and Ottoman influence. You will find here a large variety of architectural styles, from the Baroque ones in Austro-Hungary to the Ottoman ones in Serbia and Bulgaria, and even the different alphabets. Probably you know Bulgaria and Serbia, they use the Cyrillic alphabet. You'll also find so many religions in this area. We have the Catholics here, we have the Muslims because of the former Ottoman Empire. We have a large population with Jewish origin, and of course the largest majority is Orthodox. Now, talking about the Orthodox religion, we would like to wish to our Serbian and Russian and Ukrainian and all the Orthodox guests or crew happy Christmas, because for the Orthodox religion, we celebrate Christmas today. So, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
And let's go to the embarkation port, and that is the pearl of the Danube, Budapest, the capital city of Hungary. Day 2, we start cruising. In the afternoon, we visit a smaller town, the town of Peć. Next day, we discover Croatia and a colorful town in Serbia, Novi Sad. And day 4 of the cruise will find us in Belgrade. Belgrade, the capital city of Serbia. And we are so lucky because here we spend the entire day. There are so many interesting sites that we want to show you here. And as our loyal guests know, while you are on a ship, you can choose on board what would you like to see. We have so many tour choices ready for you. So now, as Kristin mentioned before, we would like to give you the opportunity to choose where would you like us to take you this afternoon. So we, in the morning in Belgrade, we can you can choose between the 3 tours that you see on the screen. And if you are on Facebook, we are going to start soon the poll, and you can let us know which one of the tours you would like us to go more into details. And I think my colleagues are ready to start it now, so you can start voting. While you are voting, we can show you some of the slides. So if you decide to take the city tour, first we take you to the Belgrade fortress. Next place that we visit is gonna be the old town, Skadarlia Street, the bohemian area of the city. And then we are gonna visit the most important basilica of the country, and that is St. Sava. So this will be for the first choice. Second choice or second tour is to take you to the royal palace, where the former royal family still lives. And sometimes the prince himself will guide you through his palace. And the next place that we visit is the memorial of Marshal Tito. So that is the second choice. And if you decide to go on foot, to discover the capital on foot only, then you can do the hike. We take you first to the fortress, the oldest part of the city, and then we take you to the old town, to Skadarlia Street. So those are the three choices, and I'm very curious to know which one sounds more appealing to you.
Maddie, don't we also do these at different paces, the city tours?
Yes, like in all the ports, we offer tours. Even here in Belgrade, we have regular tours or gentle groups. And for the more active guests, we offer the hike tour.
All right. So, and I know the poll is going right now. And Maddie, as a cruise manager, obviously you have seen different departures. Whenever we have more guests than on others, we would always allow every guest to come on the tour, right? And there is never a tour that is being canceled. So the options are always there for all our guests, right?
Yes, so the guest can make their choice online before the cruise starts. When they get on the ship on the first day, we have a PowerPoint presentation where we introduce all the tours again to all the guests, and we are very flexible. We let the guests decide on the spot. They can change their mind from one day to the other. So of course, we have room on all of the tours, and we are very flexible.
Exactly, and that is
and they're all included. And we always have small groups because we'll break them up. All of our sites included.
And that makes AmaWaterways being so special all the time. We are flexible. We always accommodate, you know, everything what needs to be done. And we do have actually a favorite tour, Maddie. The choice is the Fortress Hike. Thank you for everyone for voting, So please, Maddie, take us on the Fortress Hike. It's actually one of my favorite ones too. It's a beautiful view about, over Belgrade, the river and everything there.
Thank you very much for your choice. That shows how active our guests are. So for the hike, we take you on foot from the harbor up to the fortress. The fortress is situated on a small hill, only 400 feet above the river. And the fortress is the oldest part of the city. Believe it or not, it was built there 2,300 years ago. And it was the only part of the city which was inhabited continuously until 1830s. All the people were living within the city walls for thousands of years. Because it is built of a white limestone, it gave the name to the city. You know, in Serbian, the name of the city is Beograd, which literally means the white fortress. So after we visit the fortress on foot and go to the lookout to see the confluence of the Sava and the Danube River, then we take you on foot to the next site, which is like a 10-15 minute walk. And this is the famous Skadarlia Street, which is a new addition to our tour starting this year. Skadarlia Street used to be out of the city walls, actually in the trenches of the fortress, and it was inhabited there by the gypsies in 1830s. Later on, because it was more affordable to live, the artists came into this area, and in the last 120 years, it turned into the bohemian part of the city, just like Montmartre is for Paris. Here you find lots of street artists, art galleries, art studios, and excellent restaurants with local food. And after this street, then you can spend some time on the newer part of the city where the shopping area is, and then we take you on foot back to the ship.
And Maddie, I know we want to enjoy now a beautiful video about a very special drink. Yeah, very local one.
A very local one and very tasty. After we bring everyone back on board for lunch, in the afternoon, the guests can choose between a bike tour or to go to a local a distillery to try the famous brandy. And our colleague Bojan, who is from Belgrade, would like to tell us a little bit more about it. So let's enjoy it.
Hi everyone, my name is Bojan and I'm a cruise manager for AmaWaterways. Welcome to Belgrade, my hometown. If you would like to run away from the busy city center, join us for an included tour to the best brandy distillery in this region. This area is very famous for its plums, especially for the plum brandy we call Šljivovica. This Šljivovica is 10 years old, 40% alcohol content, and it's that good that they even send it to space. Literally, they send it to the Russian space station Mir. So maybe that's why we call it rocket fuel. I can't wait to see you all here so we can do some quality testing together. Cheers, Živali.
It is actually very tasty. And I guess I'm always happy coming back from this tour. Now we leave the capital city behind, and next morning we find ourselves in the Iron Gates, at the beginning of the Iron Gates stretch. This is another new edition for starting with this year. We are gonna discover the newly renovated Golubac Castle. It was inaugurated only last year. It is very old. It started with the Romans, and then it had many owners, Ottomans and Turks and Serbians, Hungarians, and so on. As I mentioned, it was recently renovated. You can visit 5 of the 10 towers, and the view from the top of the towers to the Iron Gate stretch is one of the best. Now, after we visit Golubac Castle, lunchtime, we start cruising through the famous Iron Gates stretch, which is 80 miles long or 120 kilometers long stretch between the Balkan Mountains in Serbia that you see on our right-hand side and the Carpathian Mountains in Romania on our left-hand side. The entire afternoon is just breathtaking. It's the time when you should take your camera, your book, and be up on the sun deck and enjoy the beautiful scenery. While cruising, you'll see some of the sights, like the impressive face carved in the mountain. That's a former Romanian king, Decebalus. And my colleagues, the cruise managers, will tell you over the public, the PA system, more about the local legends. Next day, we are gonna arrive in Bulgaria, where we spend 2 days. One of the hidden treasures that you will discover during this cruise is the beautiful Beogracic fortress near the city of Vidin. We can take you all the way up to the top of the rock formations, and from there you see the whole valley with the entire chain of red limestone rock formations, and you will see different figures like the Madonna with the child or the elephant, which is on your right hand side. It's a beautiful day spent in the nature. Here we offer some bike tours and or a culinary tour that we will talk about a little bit later. Next day, we are still in Bulgaria, and from there we take you either to the former capital of Bulgaria, to Veliko Trnovo, or we show you other hidden treasures, and those are the rock churches of Ivanovo. 800 years old, exactly 800 years old this year. The Orthodox monks carved 40 churches into the limestone, and they painted. So you see these frescoes, 800 years old frescoes in 40 churches, and there are some other 300 rooms where they used to live, and they are all protected by UNESCO, meaning they are very special for the whole humanity and unique in the world. After Bulgaria, we disembark and we take our guest for our post-extension in Transylvania and Bucharest. And believe it or not, the offer is unbelievable. Am I right, Gary or Kristin?
Yeah, this is booked, this cruise prior to the end of this month, and this 4-day package is included in the price.
Mhm.
It really is unbelievable. Yes, oh, that's very generous of two of you. 2 nights in Transylvania and 2 nights in Bucharest with all the tours all included. Wow. We take you to other gems, hidden gems that not many guests or people discovered yet. In the middle of the Carpathians in Transylvania, you will find the former royal palace. Palace Castle, which belongs to the Hohenzollern family, the royal family of Romania. Nowadays is opened as a museum. Next place that you will discover is the birthplace of Dracula. Yes, Vlad Țepeș, or the Impaler, our Romanian ruler, was born in the yellow house that you see in the picture on our left-hand side, right in front of the clock tower. The world knows him as Dracula. Sighișoara is a medieval town, very colorful, and is recently started to be protected recently by UNESCO. So another special place.
All the cruises my family has done, my wife and daughters, this is their favorite itinerary, the Lower Danube.
Yes, so there are so many reasons why they really enjoyed it. And another unique place that you can discover is Bran Castle, which everybody knows it as Dracula's Castle. It is owned by the Habsburg family, but it is open to the public as a museum. And I think the best ambassador for Transylvania is the British Prince Charles. He bought so many properties very close to this castle. He brings his friends and his family very often. And if you want to hear what he wants to say about Transylvania, you can watch a documentary. I think it's on Netflix these days. It's called Wild Carpathia. So it gives you a better flavor of Transylvania.
That is also beautiful. And I also want to say in 2022, we will be operating the Lower Danube cruises on board our Amabella and Amaverde. Those two ships we are completely renovating, refurbishing during the winter season, twin balcony ships. That's of course what you like to have, beautiful staterooms with a real balcony, with a French balcony. And I'm very, very excited about these two ships, in addition to Ama Magna, going down the Lower Danube. But love the food there as well. So please go on, Maddie.
Of course, you are in a big treat in the Balkans as we go through Balkan countries, and we love our grill here. So on the left side, you can see cevapcici or mititei, chopped meat sausages. And on our right-hand side, there was the aubergine salad, very typical for the region. And because it's lunchtime, right, in the States, you can have some dessert as well. On the left is papanash, my favorite dessert, and you can get them at Dracula's Castle. There are so many restaurants around it. And on our right-hand side is a Romanian, but more a Bulgarian specialty, which is banita. And I know, Kristin, you really like our tour in Vidin, where we take our guests to a local house.
Love it. And I know it's the highlight for many of our guests, just because it's so personal again. It's all about the personal touch, right?
Yes, the lady of the house teaches everyone how to make banita. They really do it, and they bring it to the ship and serve it to whoever want to have it for tea time. So that's a very special tour. So there are so many things that make this Gems of Southeast Europe cruise unique. So please come down here.
All right, Uwe, I think you're going to walk us through France.
Absolutely, and hearing Maddie talk about Eastern Europe and the cruise and all these specialties makes me want to go right away. I want to book tomorrow. And I'm taking you from Eastern Europe to the western part, actually to the western coast, to France, to Bordeaux. We're cruising in the Bordeaux region. And it's a wonderful itinerary, actually, where we start and end in Bordeaux. We're cruising two rivers, the Garonne and Dordogne. But before we take you there, and this is something you should definitely not leave out, we offer a pre-land package in Spain, actually in the Basque country, which is the very north of Spain. And this is really still off the beaten track, because what do you think of when you hear the name Spain? Madrid, Barcelona, the Costa del Sol, the Balearic Islands, but the north is really still a hidden gem. And the Basque country is very different from the rest of Spain. Actually, it's very hilly. It reminds me almost of Bavaria. Cooler climate. The ocean's a little bit cooler, but they're very hospitable people with an old culture, and they're definitely foodies. And we have a wonderful colleague of us who is from there, Abel, who just recorded a little presentation that gives us a beautiful overview over Bilbao and San Sebastian, where we take you. I think the video is
Doesn't want to load.
Yeah, it's still coming. What we're doing is actually we go to before we go to Bordeaux, we take you to Bilbao. Bilbao was a place full of industry, heavy industry, actually on the Bay of Biscay. This is where we are, on the northern coast of Spain. And it went through a major transition in the last 2 decades. And the big impact to that had the opening of the Guggenheim Museum that was built and designed by Frank Gehry, the famous Canadian architect. It's an art piece in itself, but also contains a great number of partially contemporary art, Andy Warhol, for instance, or Anselm Kiefer. But it's a very historic place at the same time. And there's a little river running through the town. The hotel you're staying at, you have a view onto the iconic Guggenheim Museum, but you can also walk within just a handful of minutes the beautiful little lanes and squares of Bilbao and discover the markets, the pincho bars. Pinchos are the Basque version of the tapas. And this is something you will never be able to get around. And it's something you should really indulge. Anytime you feel a little bit hungry, you have an appetite, you go for a pincho and a little drink. I think
And we can actually show the video now.
They open pretty late, don't they?
What is it, Gary?
The pinchos, what hour do they close?
They close when the last guest has left. So
We actually, this is Sonia behind the scene, and we can show the video now.
Great.
alrighty,
Let's do it.
enjoy the video.
Hi, this is Abel from AmaWaterways. Today, I would like to take you to one of the most unique yet underrated regions in Europe, the Basque Country. The Basque Country is a cultural and historical region nestled around the Bay of Biscay. Its territory extends over the north of Spain and the southwest of France. The landscape there is very distinct, with many green valleys and mountains that often end in sharp cliffs, violently beaten by the Atlantic Ocean waves. This land has been home to the Basque people for at least the last 6,000 years. The Basques have their very own culture, starting with the language, which is considered the oldest in Europe, and it's unrelated to any other existing language in the continent. The Basque Country is also famous for its lifestyle, art, tradition, and its well-renowned superb gastronomy. Our first stop in the Basque Country will be the city of Bilbao, the main economic center and the most cosmopolitan city in the region. Bilbao was known in the past as a heavily industrial city, but in the last decades it has successfully reinvented itself through a well-planned urbanistic renovation and cutting-edge architecture, so that today it's considered a world-class cultural hub. The flagship of all this transformation is the Guggenheim Bilbao Museum, one of the most iconic masterpieces of architecture of the last years of the 20th century. Today, Bilbao shows the perfect balance between tradition and modernity. Now we continue our journey towards San Sebastian, a charming and delightful city that embraces the sea and seduces the visitors from the very first instant. When in San Sebastian, it is mandatory to do three things. Go up the Igueldo mountain to enjoy the views of the city and the surrounding areas. Second, take a laid-back stroll along the promenade of the seafront. And third, hit the old town for a pinchos bars tour. For this special sip and sail, I wanted to bring one of my favorite pinchos. This is scallop stuffed with lobster meat, and it tastes amazing when paired with one of the local wines, Chacoli, which is a fresh and lightly sparkling white wine. Cheers!
Thank you, Abel. I think that was a very comprehensive introduction to the Basque Country and our itinerary there. One thing you might also add as number 4 is take a dip in the Bay of Biscay. The sea is not really known for swimmers, but for surfers, actually. And if you're brave enough, it's a little cool, but in combination with the beautiful historic walks, the wonderful food that you're getting there, and the Chacoli wine that Abel just presented, why not have a dip before preparing for the evening? But yeah, we're taking you from the Basque Country, which, by the way, also is part of our special offer, Gary and Kristin, right? until the end of the month. I think you can, on the select departures, have this included in your cruise price. So
Correct.
if I was you, I would definitely not skip that. That is an absolute highlight. And again, it's totally off the beaten track. Still, we don't know what it will be like in a few years. But we're taking you to Bordeaux, onto a beautiful ship, the AmaDolce. The AmaDolce was built in 2009, so 2009, and you might think, oops, that's not one of our newest ships. But you should know that all our ships actually are spick and span. And I have it very often that people come on board and say, wow, this is one of your new ships, right? No, but we take care of our inventory. So we're renovating, we're getting new carpets. It's totally like a new ship. And
you know, in Uwe, it's always one of our highest ranked ships also.
Well, you know what? It's the hardware is one thing, and it's of course top. It in this case really fits the environment because it's one of the shorter ships, 110 meters, so it's more flexible. You have to know that in Bordeaux we're sailing tidal rivers, and having a smaller ship, it's actually the same width and height, but it's shorter, keeps us more flexible. And well, the hardware is one thing, and of course the software, that's the crew and the wonderful food and service and the smiles that they're presenting. So Bordeaux is definitely a place you want to come, and the AmaDolce to experience it with, of course. We're starting in Bordeaux, embarking there, and we're sailing right away the next day, leaving Bordeaux because we're going to come back for a deeper introduction towards the end of the cruise, to Saint-Emilion. Saint-Emilion is one of everybody's favorites, and it's a place not on the river, but a 10 minutes drive from the river, or 20 minutes or half an hour, I should say, if you take it swiftly on the bike. Other than that, it can be a very how should I say, a very scenic bike ride to take you there. Emile was a hermit several hundred years ago who lived in the caves of later on Saint-Emilion. And this was also bearing witness in the shape of the church that you see there. You see what's above ground, but we take you to what is underground because there's casemates. It's a rock carved church, and we take you to the catacombs of it. And so behind you, the doors will be closed, but don't worry, there's no reason to be claustrophobic. And it's surrounded by beautiful vineyards of highest esteem. So it's a charming medieval historic place that really at the same time has arrived in the 21st century and is upbeat with beautiful bars, little boutiques, and just a happy place where you want to be. And we take you to Saint-Emilion on a walk with the Rock Church, of course, as well. We take you wine tasting because the wines around Saint-Emilion are top-notch. But as I mentioned before, we also take you on a bike tour there. So the choice is yours to bike from the ship through the vineyards and all the villages. And afterwards, we take you to top-notch wine tasting to a wonderful winery. And the good thing there is, we can serve you wine because for the way back, we put the bikes in a trailer and you ride the bus back. So you're not running the risk of, ending up over your handlebars.
I remember the early days, Uwe, when we first started doing our biking tours, we didn't think of that. And the bike ride back was always much more fun.
It was more fun, but occasionally a little bit risky. So we want to play it safe with AmaWaterways. And we take your wine tasting. We take the bikes back by bus and trailer, and then you're right in time for the sip and sail on the ship on the AmaDolce. But the next day, the ship is still docked in Libourne, where we took you to Saint-Emilion. And in the morning, there's three choices, three tours that you can choose from. By the way, our tours are always included, so you don't have to pay extra or arranged before. So it's part of our package, of the package that you book with the cruise. So it's a local market visit. We take you on foot. It's only a stroll from the ship to the Libourne market. We time it, of course, the way when the market is then there for some tasting. We take you to one of the Bordeaux special wine regions, Fronsac, for a wine tasting to a beautiful venue. Or we take you on a hike to a small Chateau Boutinay, where the owners are taking us through the landscape and the vineyards, and of course are presenting the goodies. So please vote what you would prefer to do. It's the local market visit, the Fronsac wine tasting, or the Chateau Boutinay hike with more wine.
All right.
It's actually, it's really a hard day. No, it's not a hard day, but it's a hard choice because you want to do all three. I want to do all three.
But that's why you always come back, right? And especially, I have to say, Bordeaux at different times of the year is so different. If you go in spring, in summer, in fall, with the beautiful fall colors, the vineyards turning into their bright orange red colors, and then you just do the Assa tour. At least that's what I have done, and actually a couple of our guests have done as well, and it's like a new experience.
Yeah, Kristin, I think that's the way to go. You just book three cruises, and then you can do the local market visit and the Fronsac wine tasting and Chateau Boutinay, and maybe at different times of the year. Exactly. So I'm curious actually what the poll is. So what is the audience's choice about your favorite tour? Let me know.
So still voting here. I'm just waiting for the results.
All right. And we're docked in Libourne, and Libourne is on the Dordogne River, the second largest town actually on our cruise after Bordeaux. But second large means a small town already, and it's everything is walkable, little boutiques. I mentioned the market there. You can go on individual bike rides at all time as well. You should know that we have bikes on the ship that we carry with you, for you. So even if there's no bike tour assigned, you can always rent a bike, get a helmet, get a lock, and go to a cafe or through the countryside and back. So Libourne would be also.
Uwe, actually, you don't have to rent them. Uwe, you don't have to rent them. You just sign up and take them. They're included. They're free.
They're free, exactly. Yeah.
And we got the results. We got the results, and you know, I knew this would happen, and it shows again, it's the simplicity of life, the local market visit. And I love the local markets in this area and all the tastings. That's what our guests want, right? And so Uwe, please take us to a local market visit. What do we get to taste? You know, which locals do we meet, and why is it so special?
That shows us again, it's off the beaten track, right? I mean, it's the local, the hands-on experience, and the market in Libourne is not even a 10-minute walk away from the ship, but it's a beautiful stroll, and we, as I said, we time it when there's not only the indoor market, which is permanent there. I mean, every working day, not Sunday, but also the open air market on the main square, on the market square. And we take you for cheese tasting. And you have to know that there's around about 400 types of cheese in France. I have to disappoint you, you're not going to taste each and every cheese on that tour. Maybe if you book various cruises various times, you get to taste all 400.
Right.
And of course, we learn about different cheeses as well. And, you know, we get made sensible for different nuances of different cheeses, what to pair it with, etc. We taste cold meats, like cold cuts on the market, and then we go to, and this is my favorite, we go to a chocolate store, and just by looking through the window, your mouth will be watering. But we're going in, and it's watering even more, and then you're presented the handmade local chocolates right on the market square in Libourne. These are the things that we're taking you to taste, but what you see is a lot more, of course. It's the local farmers that bring their produce there, the fresh vegetables of the season. It might be truffles, it might be mushrooms, it might be potatoes, whatever, or tomatoes, whatever is the produce of the very season then. It's also little knickknacks and arts and clothes even. So it's really a local market, not put on for any visitors or tourists, but we take advantage of that experience, of course. So this is really something, and it allows you time to explore more of the town itself because you're right in the heart of it, and have the rest of the morning at your leisure before it's lunchtime. And we cruise down further the Dordogne. So we cruised up as far as we could this river, because then it's a bridge where the ship can't go through to Libourne, and we turn around and we go down the river. And actually, this is something you will enjoy in the Bordeaux area as well. I mentioned the tidal river, and one thing you will come across is the masquerade. When there's a wave coming up the river, because it's connected to the sea.
A bore wave.
A tidal bore, yes.
Yes.
Because it's a tidal river. So when the sea pushes the fresh water in, and there's sometimes, I haven't seen it myself, there's surfers surfing this one wave actually, but it can be high as high as 3-4 feet. You wouldn't believe that, but it's really.
And you could ride that one wave, I think, up to a mile or longer. I have never ridden a bore wave, but it's one of the things I really.
Well, you can ride that wave all the way up for an hour, but it's only one wave. If you fall, it's gone.
You're gone. Just throttle up.
Your New Year's solution, Gary, right?
Bore wave, and at the park in Munich, they have that standing wave in the river there. So I was looking at both of those.
Yeah, and then we're taking you to Borg, and Borg is a town actually overlooking the river. It's really there's a lower part, and there's an elevated part because it's a like on a cliff, you could say, a historic part. There's a citadel there with historic oil cistern actually from World War II, which is something we show you there. We show you the town, the beautiful views over the Dordogne and actually the Garonne. And then we take you to the House of Wine, the Maison du Vin. And we developed a very special relationship with that little town. Another distinct, within the Bordeaux wine region, another distinct wine terroir, Bourg. And in that beautiful venue overlooking the river, we take you to a private AmaWaterways exclusive wine festival. So we invited entertainers. They present some music and some casual entertainment and fun. You can dance if you want, but there's local vintners coming there too. There's always every time we're there, it's different ones. They present their local wines, and we of course taste them with some little tapas, having a casual chat, overlooking the river in this beautiful location. This is, the French call this savoir vivre, easy life. And we sometimes envy them a little bit because they really know how to enjoy the goodies of life. So the wine festival is something, an absolute highlight, exclusive for AmaWaterways. Then we go across the river. In the wine areas where we've been so far, it is mostly dominated by Merlot and Cabernet Franc. And we take you to Médoc. And Médoc is on the western bank of the Gironde estuary. And it's very flat, but the minerals, the terroir that the soil contains, make it Predestined for top world-class wines, the Médoc. And we take you in the Médoc on a tour through the vineyards, and seeing these top-notch estates and not just seeing, but of course, when we talk about wine, your mouth is watering again, and you want to taste them. We take you to Grand Cru wineries. You have to know in 1855 they did the wine classification, and we take you to top-notch wineries to taste amazing wines. And you might think, well, you know, what wineries is a cruise line taking us there to? They just want to, you know, they just present us some wine, and then you go to the shop and you want to buy the bottle that you just actually tasted, and you think, oops, that's 90 euros, and the other one is 120 euros. So it's not just wine; it's top wine. Well, we're going back upstream to Cadillac. Some of you might drive a Cadillac, but we go actually to a little town called Cadillac, and it's in the Sauternes wine region. Sauternes is a wine region known for its white wine, created by noble rot. So it's a fungus actually that makes it sweet in the end, and it's one of the top-notch, well-known dessert wines of the world is Sauternes. We take you, of course, through the region. We take you on a tasting, and this is a wine where you only have like a little shot glass size actually to taste. And on the same tour, we take you to Chateau Roquetaillade, which is actually still family-owned for several centuries. And if you're lucky enough, most of the time we are lucky enough, the owner themselves, actually one of the owners, is taking us through that castle. It's an amazing experience because these people, they live in the castle that's been there for many a century. So Roquetaillade and Sauternes, a wonderful excursion. Before we come back to Bordeaux, Bordeaux, the city that gave the wine region its name, of course, and there we want to really indulge in Bordeaux. This is actually a bit of an image what you would see, or an idea of what you would see at night, because we take you on, if the tide allows it, on the little cruise at night, an illumination cruise through Bordeaux to call the cruise off. But before we do that, we show you Bordeaux in the form of a city tour. It combines driving and walking tour. We take you to a brand new off the beaten track again experience, the Bassin de Lumière. I think we have an image of that as well, which was in an old submarine den, actually, also of World War II, where the Germans had stored and hidden their submarines. No more needed for that occasion, luckily. And it's just last year, 2020, transformed into an art place where they have sound and light shows dedicated to various artists. So this year it was Klimt and Paul Klee, and they have changing exhibitions. So this is an amazing experience in an old submarine den, this art show. And of course, we take you.
If I may, because you mentioned Cadillac. So, and I remember the story, Antoine de la Mont Cadillac, he was the French explorer, went to New Orleans and went into Canada and he was one of the founders of Detroit. And so that's where the name Cadillac comes from the car. So some useless trivia I just thought I'd share with you.
Yeah. And I want to add, I love the art of Klimt, right? And just want to say that we have it on many of our beautiful ships. They are decorated with lots of artwork from Klimt. So please go on, Uwe.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, beautiful. The ships are beautiful, decorated. And Gary, I think that, basically everybody who drives a Cadillac should come on the cruise and see Cadillac, right? So, deal. And of course, what we show you in Bordeaux is the Cité du Vin, the wine city. And this postmodern building that you see, there's a very interactive, fascinating wine museum. It's actually also almost in walking distance from the ship, where not only Bordeaux wine, but the wines of the world are presented, also how to smell them, to taste them, how they are made, different wines of different wine regions worldwide. And this is made, this building is actually meant to look like a swirl of wine in your glass. So this is what this image is actually projecting. So yeah, that's actually the cruise that we're taking you to. But again, we have, for the Southeastern European cruise that Maddie presented, we have a post-cruise extension that brings us to the Loire Valley. And the Loire Valley, to the northwest of France, actually, is a UNESCO World Heritage area filled with chateaus. This is Chateau Chambord that you see. We show you a handful, literally a handful of chateaus interiorly as well within the 3 days that we're taking you on the extension there. What makes it unique also is that we're staying in a chateau. Our hotel is a chateau, not this one, a smaller private chateau, and we usually take the whole chateau. So that alone is a special experience that you shouldn't miss. And that's post-extension ends up in Paris. You can fly out from Paris or stay longer on your own if you want to. So this really makes it round. And if you're into food, then first of all, you're in the right place with AmaWaterways because we're foodies. And if you're coming on the Bordeaux cruise, you're in the right area on top of it. You see oysters, they're bred and cultivated in the cold waters. Not only Brussels is famous for mussels, but also the western part of France from the Atlantic. The canals of Bordeaux, this is actually containing vanilla. You need to get them fresh from a bakery in Bordeaux. It's a sweet, it's just one bite actually, this thing. You can, I have usually 3 or 4 in a row. That's something you should really indulge. And really on the Amadolce, on our ships, food, also local food that we bring on board, oysters from local vendors, for instance, is really part of the experience that you should indulge with coming on the cruise with us. But after all this food, maybe you need some exercise, huh? What about it, Kristin?
You're right, Uwe. I know this. With all these incredible culinary excursions, exquisite cuisine, and the finest local wines available on our river cruises, we are so proud to offer you, our guests, the opportunity to balance these rich Epicurean experiences with our complimentary wellness program. So we have professionally trained, certified wellness hosts on board our ships in Europe, not just in Bordeaux, on pretty much all our ships in Europe, in Asia. And so our wellness instructors lead an average of 4 to 6 small group fitness classes each day, with choices that include yoga, core strengthening, stretching, line dancing, even Zumba, and active walks, also digestive walks on the sun deck. We can jog along the riverbanks, and again, everything is offered on a complimentary basis in addition to our shore excursions. So no worries about any additional food you take in. You are there to taste it all. That's what we do all the time, because you will walk a lot and have enough movement around so that you don't have to feel guilty. But I know time is pressuring us a little bit, so let's go on to the next slide. And because we have another itinerary, Uwe, right? You want to present together with Maddie.
Yes, and it's an exciting itinerary that we just recently modified in a way that we have some wonderful surprises, maybe not a surprise if you're informed, but some wonderful additions to our beautiful Rhine itinerary. We start in Amsterdam. We're going up the Rhine, basically towards its source, not all the way, but Amsterdam, of course, capital of the Netherlands. This is where the cruise starts, but you again have the opportunity for a 2-night pre-land extension where we're staying really in the heart of the city in one of the finest hotels, and we show you Amsterdam on a walk. We take you out to Saint-Saskans, half an hour outside of Amsterdam, to a windmill place. But once the cruise starts and everybody is with us, then we take you to a major highlight of Amsterdam, a canal cruise through the more than 150 canals of Amsterdam. An absolute highlight, Amsterdam. So stay the extra 2 nights and then come on a cruise. Then you're relaxed and the jet lag's gone, and you can take really the maximum in of the cruise. Amsterdam, we start cruise up the Amsterdam Rhine Canal, the Waal River, which is a part of the Rhine that's the Rhine splits up with when it forms a delta. But we're going up into Germany then, and the first stop is one of the old historic cities and one of the largest places, Cologne.
Yes, it's right. And we stop in Cologne, and even it is a big city, we really want our guests to see it for 2 main reasons. First one is the huge cathedral that you see right in front of you and is on the banks of the Rhine. It is another UNESCO protected site, is one of the biggest churches in Germany, is the most visited monument of the country because it houses the remains of the 3 wise kings, the ones that you celebrated, I think, yesterday, right? The Catholic religion celebrated them just yesterday. And the other reason why we want our guests to visit Cologne is to try the famous local Kölsch beer, one of the 5,000 brands of beer in Germany. But this one is a really special one. After Cologne, we enter
can't just leave it at that about Kölsch beer. I mean, it's served in those unique little tall, thin glasses. It's chilled. You're in a big beer hall, and they keep bringing them to you, and I have no way how they keep track of the tab. It is a monumental experience.
True, you have to have a beer when you are in Germany, as beer is not an alcoholic beverage, right? It is it is liquid bread, so you have to have a beer in Germany. The next day we go through a picturesque part of the river that Uwe can tell you more about it.
We take you through the Rhine Gorge, another UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's probably the most famous part along, one of the most famous, I should relative myself actually, one of the most famous parts of any river in Europe, the Rhine Gorge, because you're passing round about 25 castles and castle ruins there. It's spectacular. We sometimes call it Rubberneck country because left, right, castle, castle, castle is spectacular. And we dedicate really the whole morning to that, so you can really see and take it in to the max. And cruising the Rhine Gorge will get us to Rüdesheim, where the Rhine Gorge actually ends. A small town of only about 6,000 inhabitants, known for its wine, known for its medieval architecture, little lanes. There's castles in and around Rüdesheim. And we offer, and we have another poll here, ladies and gentlemen, we offer 4 tours in Rüdesheim. First of all, a wine tasting. Riesling is the grape of the region. So we want to tell you and present a little more about that. A gondola ride. Gondola, you think, oh, maybe in Venice? No, they call it gondola. It's like a little cable car that takes you swiftly across the vines up to the hilltop. A vineyard hike. This is for the active ones amongst you to go through the vineyards, and of course the elevations for beautiful views as well. And of course a bike tour. We mentioned bikes earlier on. We have many bike tours. This is one of the most beautiful ones of the Rheingau, where we take you through the area. So we want you to choose.
Uwe, which one includes Siegfried's Musical Museum?
Siegfried's Musical Museum is not part of these 4 tours. We do it afterwards. Okay. These are tours. See, in the morning we cruised the Rhine Gorge. In the afternoon we do these 4 tours. And in the evening, and this is an absolute highlight, Gary, yes, you're right. Siegfried's Musical Museum is actually housed in a castle, in an old castle that's been transformed into a museum displaying the collection of self-playing musical instruments. And you're not just going through, they bring this to life. They really play them.
That's fantastic.
An amazing thing. So this is one of the two options. After dinner, we're taking you on a little mini train to from the ship to the very place. The other choice in the evening would be a Rüdesheimer coffee. What is a Rüdesheimer coffee? Don't be intimidated, Gary, but it beats Irish coffee. It is there's a brandy called Asbach that is made in Rüdesheim actually, that is heated up actually and burned, not for too long, not to burn all the alcohol. Then you pour coffee in the mug where you put the burnt shot in already, and a huge spoonful of whipped cream and some chocolate crumble, and this really makes for a happy evening.
We wouldn't waste our whiskey by burning it.
for the aroma.
Okay, I think the results are in from our poll, and the winner is the gondola ride, because it takes you up, and again you enjoy the most beautiful scenic view over the vineyards, over the Rhine. So Uwe, just
this is an amazing experience, because the gondola, you have an image here, is actually it holds only two people. So you sit across from one another, no glass windows, so you can hang your arm out and really take beautiful pictures. It's a 10-minute ride from the very town that you see at the bottom, over the vineyard, very gentle, very quiet. And at the very top of the hill, you have, of course, the most magnificent view onto Rüdesheim, onto the river, the town of Bingen on the other side, where Hildegard from Bingen almost 1,000 years ago came from. And we take you to a huge monument. There's Lady Germania. We're in Germany, so the lady personifying actually the country is there overlooking the river. And then we're taking you down again, of course. And you really feel like you can touch the vines as you're gliding over them. And of course, different times of the year have a different attraction to that. Yeah, and then we're taking you after Rüdesheim to Ludwigshafen, where we take you to Speyer or to Heidelberg. And then we're ending in another country in France, Strasbourg. Maddie.
Thank you, Uwe. Yes, next country on our way after the Netherlands and Germany is France. Strasbourg is a charming place, and it is the capital of Alsace region, which for 5 times changed the country. One time belonged to France, and then to Germany, and France and Germany, and so on. So the culture is blended here. It's a beautiful blended culture between French and German. So you find good food, good drinks, and wonderful half-timber framed houses, little canals, and so on. And after one stop in France, then we take you to Switzerland, to Basel. Uwe?
So this is what, country number 4 on this cruise? Yeah, Switzerland, Basel. We're just not even a mile into Switzerland, actually, but this is as far as a ship of our size can cruise. Basel is a magnificent city, actually. Historic, the Romans have been there. It's a scholar city. The Erasmus of Rotterdam, for instance, was there. It was one of the most important bishoprics of the region that brought wealth, trade to the city, and it's a major Swiss port. This is the only sea connection to for the Swiss. But the core is a very historic, beautiful town, and we take you on a tour. Actually, we can walk from the ship, and that's what we do to show you the city of arts. Why? Because the city majors have for many decades already started collecting art, contemporary, modern art, historic art, which they display in many beautiful museums, but it's an art piece in itself, this city. It's home to the Barfüßerplatz, a wonderful market square that usually is on every weekday, and all this within walking from the ship. Alternatively to Basel, we take you to an absolute highlight, to Lucerne. And there's two choices, either just the afternoon tour or a full day tour to give you more time in Lucerne. Lucerne is a place, and I said this years ago, if I win the lottery, I'll buy a house there because it's on the four forest lakes, the vier Waldstädte say. The Alps are behind it, really the 4,000-meter high snow-covered Alps. The city, you see here, the Chapel Bridge. The city is walkable, historic, charming, and just picturesque every corner you turn around with. So half day or full day, and then we're coming back to Basel to end the cruise itinerary. But again, we have something wonderful to offer after the cruise, and that's a beautiful land extension that we started actually just recently, well, to offer, and that you should really take. Maddie.
Thank you, Uwe. If I will ever win the lottery, I will buy one house right here at the Lake Como, as many famous people do. And I'm so happy we added Lake Como to our itinerary. I lived in Milano for the last 2 years, and I came very often to Como. It's only 30 miles away, and the entire region is absolutely magical. And again, believe it or not, 3 days or 3 nights at Lake Como are free of charge. So please come to see, as Italians say, the most beautiful lake in the entire world, with beautiful villas along the shores of the lake. They used to belong to the aristocratic families from Milano, or very rich silk merchants from Bellagio. Nowadays, they belong to some foundations like Villa Serbelloni, which belongs to the Rockefeller Foundation, and many other famous ones. We have a very nice video done by a talented colleague of ours, Raul, and he can show us more how Lake Como looks like. As you will see, you will see in Raul's video why Como is one of the most beautiful in the world. In the picture, you see the city of Como, where we are going to spend 3 nights at the Hilton Hotel. We take you on foot to see Como town and its basilica, the one with the green domes. We take you by a private boat for 2 hours ride to Bellagio, the pearl of the lake. And you'll see, as I mentioned, very beautiful villas with luxurious gardens. And from the boat, you'll see also very small villages where local farmers live. If you'd like to know a bit more about their life, you can read a very good book, which is written by a local, by an American. He moved to Lake Como and he wrote the Lake Como trilogy. So please do read the book, An Italian House. Now, please do come to Lake Como. It's absolutely magical and is free of charge. And you'll fly out from Milano.
You have to book until January 30 for this.
Yes.
Gary, I know that you wanted to summarize a couple of things here.
Yes, I would. No, I don't see the slides on the screen anymore, but I will just touch. We talked about the package for Lake Como. We spoke about the Transylvania package, and we also talked about San Sebastian and Bilbao. And if you book those river cruises in conjunction with those land packages, if you want to take that land package, and you book them prior to December 31st, they're included. So it's a great offer. And it expires at the end of the month. We also have a program where if you refer a friend, give a gift, you refer a friend to AmaWaterways, the friend will get $100 discount, and you will receive a $100 discount. And if you refer a couple other friends, you can get up to a $300 discount. We actually have even more programs. So speak with your travel advisor and ensure that you can take advantage of all these different offers. We also have an offer where, again, up to January 31st, that if you book now and you change your mind, let's say you book a cruise to go this July, and then you decide up to 48 hours you want to change to another date, you can change to another date without any penalties. So we have wonderful offers for you in today's market. Talk to your travel advisor. They're good through January 31st. Oh, and I didn't see them. We also have the back-to-back cruises. Thank you. And this is a great opportunity. What we're just finding, what we're discovering is you're looking for longer vacations. People now, they want to get out, they want to travel. And so if you take a back-to-back cruise, and I think, Kristin, we have up to like 1,500 different combinations. So if you take a back-to-back cruise, maybe you want to do Bordeaux, and then maybe you want to do the Rhine down into the south of France. We can arrange a transfer between the two ships, and you get a 10% savings when you book a back-to-back cruise. Lots of different opportunities, and these programs are combinable. So please take advantage of what we have to offer, and they're all good through the end of the month.
And I think now, Gary, it is time.
Yes.
Time is running away from us for our final toast, right?
Yes, so a final toast to a new year and 12 new chapters. May each chapter of your story be better than the one before it. And may each page be filled with new experiences and moments to remember with your loved ones, including some of us on the rivers. So to everyone, Happy New Year and to a successful and healthy 2021.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. And I know we answered many questions live, so Facebook. So for us is here to announce our next Sip and Sail cocktail hour. If you're enjoying our journeys, please come and join us on Thursday, February 11. That's shortly before Valentine's Day at 2 p.m. Pacific time or 5 p.m. Eastern time for our journey through France. I should say journeys through France, because we have many different ones with the heart of the river. And you will see, we will announce there a couple of wonderful new surprises. So we look forward to welcoming you all to our next Sip and Sail in February. And of course, we look forward to welcoming you on board our beautiful ships very soon again for another most memorable, enjoyable, and magical river cruise experience. Thank you so much on behalf of our entire AmaWaterways family.
Uwe, bye-bye. Maddie, can't wait to see you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Nice to you.
Back soon.
I'm never
Go
good
the
at this.
rivers, everyone.
Bye. See you
Bye-bye.
soon.